it kind of concerns me to know that she's like never sober. And I guess that's maybe like a funny part of the show. It just feels like pretty extreme.
Yeah, as a person, I'm very concerned because this is clear signs of addiction. Clear signs of addiction.
Nobody.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the random episode. This is the podcast where we watch a random episode of a TV show from a random series that neither of us have watched before. I am Varun.
And I'm Christie.
This week, we're talking about the show Grace and Frankie, Season 4, Episode 8, The Lockdown. This one aired January 19th, 2018 on Netflix. So, given the year, this is not about pandemic or anything like that. But the episode summary, though, is Allison decides to give birth in her and Bud's apartment, and Frankie volunteers to deliver the baby. Grace has to avoid stairs before her knee surgery, so Saul invites her to stay with him and Robert. An escaped orangutan causes a lockdown. Now, Christy, what did you know about the show before watching it?
I had definitely seen this show pop up on my Netflix a lot of times, my Netflix recommendations. And then somebody had also recommended this to me a couple of years ago. I didn't realize it had been on for so many seasons and for so long. But I also knew because the person who recommended it to me told me the premise. So I knew that it was about friends who their husbands became gay, a gay married couple together, and now they're friends. And so they're all this big, happy family sort of thing. So I knew that premise. But what about you? Did you know that, or did you know anything?
I kind of knew a little bit. I've heard of Grace and Frankie, seen it on the Netflix feed.
Yeah.
But one of the other podcasts I listened to, How Did This Get Made, with June Diane Rayfield.
Okay.
She's on the show, and I knew that she's on the show. But I made the mistake. I should have gone and not selected a random episode. I should have chosen an episode that she was on because I was really looking forward to seeing her in the show.
Okay.
But she was nowhere to be found.
Okay.
So I don't know if she's already left. I don't think so. I think, at least from the podcast, that she's on later seasons. I don't know where she is. A little disappointed, but that's about all I knew about it. I mean, I knew that all the famous people that are on it, Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Sam Waterston, and Martin Sheen.
Yeah, I did not know it was Martin Sheen until he popped up on the screen, and I was like, holy shit, is that Martin Sheen as a gay man? I love it.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was wonderful. In the most awesome way. I think that was a great intro. Anyway, we'll talk about it some more when we get to it. But so yeah, new, a lot of famous older folks in it. That's about it.
But you didn't know the premise?
I did not know the premise.
Okay. So were you confused, or did you figure it out quickly as you were watching?
No, I mean, we can get into the intro.
Okay.
Did you watch the opening credits?
Yes. So the opening credits does, I think, explain it, right?
For the purpose of this, I loved that opening credits because it explained so much in 10 seconds. For those of you who haven't seen it, it is a wedding cake, and it starts on the bottom tier, and you see two couples, the little what do you call them,
the bride and groom figurines.
The bride and groom figurines. Yeah. There's two pairs, they're getting married, and then it moves up and up and up the tiers, and we see them, the husbands going off the little figurines, getting dressed, go off to work, the wives being dutiful wives, and then the wives are starting to have more careers or passions, but you see the male figurines come closer together. And then at the top, it's the two male figurines getting married. Yeah. So, and it was simple and so effective to explain the backstory of what's going on. So I appreciate it, loved it.
Okay. So by the time the episode started, you were like, okay, this is what this is going to be about.
Yep. I was clued in, ready to go.
Perfect. Love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, should we dive into the episode?
Yeah, let's do it. And today, Christy, you will be guiding us through the episode. So please start us off.
Well, I was gonna say actually the episode summary that you read is like basically pretty much the episode, but we can talk about the different characters and kind of what they went through. I mean, kind of like the overarching story is that Jane Fonda, no, Lily Tomlin's character Frankie is about to be a grandmother. So Frankie and then her ex-husband Saul,
Saul, played by
they
Sam
have,
Waterston.
yes, they have kids, and one of their sons is going to be a father. They're going to have a baby. So, a big kind of like underwriting thing of the episode, right, is she's going into labor at any moment
Hmm.
now. And Frankie really wants to be a part of the labor and delivery. And decides, I don't know how it's decided, kind of like swindled her daughter-in-law into saying like, I'm going to deliver this baby for you at home and I'm going to be your doula even though that's not really my job. So kind of like that
Classic
underlying piece
mother-in-law.
of the episode is Frankie trying to prepare for just being the person to catch the baby when it comes out of her daughter-in-law for her first grandchild. So that's like our underlying piece. And then, of course, hijinks ensue at Saul and Robert's house.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
And so
What
it
did you
seemed. Go ahead.
go ahead?
No, I was gonna say. So it seems as if their son is an adopted son.
Well, he's black.
He's
They're
black.
white,
Yeah.
which does come up later, which is pretty funny. But yeah, so he is an adopted son.
That threw me off at first because
Right.
he's black, and or the son's black, and his wife is white.
Yes.
So obviously, coming into this, it's like, oh, okay, that's
Their daughter.
their daughter. But
Yeah.
no. So it was a nice little surprise when he
Yeah.
started calling her dad, started calling him dad, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So this is our introduction to the fact that like Frankie and Saul are still clearly close. Like we, just coming into this didn't know that, but that was nice to see. And then we later are going to meet Grace, that's Jane Fonda, who
yes.
lives with Frankie? Question mark.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. It seems like it,
They,
right?
I think they maybe live together because
Yeah.
obviously Saul and Robert live together. They're married, so a big chunk of this show episode is at Robert and Saul's house. But then it does seem like Grace and Frankie also maybe live together, which I would
Yeah.
love.
I would love that too. That
Like that
sounds
female companionship
wonderful.
sounds great. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's kind of the big stuff's going on. Frankie's preparing for this birth. She really wants to make sure she's there for the birth. And they get locked down at Robert and Saul's house.
Yeah.
Hijinks ensue.
Hijinks ensue. First off, when we meet Jane Fonda, she is slowly climbing up the stairs at the
Yes.
house, and she's got a backpack on.
Yes.
Front ways is where the
Yes.
backpack is, and I guess she's getting hip replacement,
No
hip surgery.
knee surgery, maybe?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty funny, clever way because she just wanted to go upstairs to her bed.
Well, she was trying to take a bath, I think, but she like
Yeah,
had to carry all of her stuff in a backpack with her.
yeah, it was great. It was
What
great.
did you think of Grace, the character?
Grace, she was interesting. I
Okay.
think she's definitely a good opposite to Frankie
They do seem opposite, yeah.
because Lily and Saul definitely seem to be the hippie, free spirited
Okay.
types, right? Like even Frankie when she was talking about being a doula back in the 70s,
Yeah,
how
yeah, yeah.
she, did it for so many people back then. So I liked how Frankie is the more hippy dippy one, and Grace
Yeah.
definitely seems to be the more uptight,
Yeah.
straight laced one of the couple.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and so we quickly learned that Grace, because she's having surgery, she has to detox. So apparently she's pretty much on some sort of drug or alcohol constantly in her
All the
life.
time.
So she's always either drunk and or on like pain pills or something.
What a life.
So yeah, I don't like, is this like what happens when you just like you retire and you're just like drunk all the time? I guess. Like,
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, so she's not drinking or taking pills right now. So, that's gonna cause some issues down the line. But she's an interesting one. Like, it kind of concerns me to know that she's like never sober. And I guess that's maybe like a funny part of the show. It just feels like pretty extreme.
Yeah. As a person, I'm very concerned because this is clear signs of addiction. clear signs of addiction.
Nobody's like like throughout the whole episode, they're just kind of like making jokes about how she's just constantly drunk or on drugs. So if everybody's fine with it, like to each their own, it is just like an interesting part of the show that everybody just seems to be like, yeah, that's just how she is. Okay.
Because uh, Robert, Martin Sheen's character, who was Grace's
With her
ex,
husband, yes. Yeah.
yes. Well, when they all go back to Robert and Saul's house
Yes.
and explain to him the situation, he freaks out, kind of, because he tells them that she's only ever been sober for an extended period of time twice
Twice in her whole adult life, I guess.
in their whole adult
And
life.
and she's had multiple kids and was only sober for one of the
I
pregnancies.
thought that was pretty funny.
Again, I was like, oh, yikes. Like it, like the way they're doing it is funny, but if you really think about it, you're like, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So she clearly has problems, and I'm concerned for her.
Yeah.
And hopefully, this knee replacement is the first step in recovery.
Yes.
Maybe she can take this time to detox.
Though I
And
don't think so because at the end when she's like, I don't want to have my surgery, he's like, but don't worry, you'll be loaded up on pain pills right
oh,
after. It's like, okay,
yeah.
so you're just gonna go
No.
back to the pain pills right after.
Yeah, it's going to be classic. Now
So
she's going to get hooked on pain pills.
yes,
It's
yes,
classic
yes.
American story now. So
So maybe not. So did you jot down or take note of what happens when Grace is sober?
I did not jot this down. Did you jot this down?
Okay, so basically everybody ends up at Robert and Saul's house. They're all just gonna like hunker down together for, the detox and getting ready for the baby and all that stuff. So when Robert finds out Grace is sober, he's like, y'all, like, you are not ready for this because sober Grace, like, there's a three-phase
Three-phase,
situation here
yes.
that's happening with her. So phase number one, she has irritability. She's very irritable, not nice to be around. But then phase two is euphoria. And all of a sudden she's just like loving life, like loving everybody. But then that's like a false alarm because phase three is the rage. And like the
Rage.
rage is just like uncontrollable rage. So he's just like, everybody get ready. And of course, as he's describing it, we're seeing like Grace actually going through these phases as she's talking to one of Robert and Saul's neighbors, which we'll get into. It is pretty funny, like the acting out of like each of these phases as he's describing it. It's pretty spot on.
It is pretty spot on. And she does such a good job of acting it out.
Yeah.
Like the character is such that, again, she's just an uptight person. So to see her transition from, again, when we meet her, she's pretty crotchety. She's already pretty.
She's the irritable stage already.
Exactly. She's there. And then see her go into the euphoria stage
Yeah.
where she's all nice and loving to these random neighbors that are at their house and everyone else. And then, yes, it goes into rage mode, which is, it's not like, I do kind of wish it was more rage. It wasn't
Yeah.
like full on rage. It was just like slight lashing out and
Yeah.
pointed comments. And
Yes. It was pretty mean,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
also hilarious.
But I wanted to see like anger, rage, like see her, this, I don't know how old she is, 70 something
Yeah.
woman. I wanted to see her like break a chair or something like that. I would have loved to see that.
That's true. Yeah. But so she's going through her sobriety phases. And what I really thought was funny is when she goes through her rage phase, basically targeting the neighbor. Who should we get into the neighbors?
Let's get into the neighbors.
So the neighbors come over and like you and I are like, who are these people, right? Because we have never seen them before. But the woman neighbor comes over at first and she's like, oh my gosh, like you guys, Robert and Saul, like you've been talking to my fiance. What's his name? Oliver. My fiance, Oliver. Like something weird's going on. Like what is this weird thing that's going on? Like we need to talk about it. And Robert is like, no. Like we're not talking about it. So we're all just kind of like, well, you and maybe other people who have been watching the show know, but you and I watching are like, what's going on? Like something weird's happening with their neighbors. And the neighbors are young, right? They're like 20s. So obviously Robert and Saul are like 70s. The neighbors are like 20s. So I don't know. In my head, at least, I'm like, what's going on? Like, this is confusing.
Yeah, at first they make you feel like something's going on maybe between Robert and maybe this fiance.
Yeah.
They kind of, but no, that's not it.
It was just confusing. Yeah. So she's the woman is like still there, just like, I don't know, sitting with Grace, and Grace is doing all of her sober
Yeah.
phases on this woman. And then Oliver, the fiance, comes in and basically is like, we got to like figure this out. And turns out, is it Robert basically told them that he thinks Oliver is gay,
So
right?
Robert told Oliver that he shouldn't
And he
marry
should
this
marry
woman
yeah.
because he's gay. And Oliver is, I, we don't find out the truth. We
We
do
don't
know,
know.
we don't know. Yeah. Well,
After seeing him for like 10 seconds on screen, I'm like, yeah, yeah, he is.
yeah. And even the fiance, the woman even says, she goes, if I had $1 for every time someone said that Oliver was gay. So like,
A lot of money.
exactly. So it's clear that not only Robert thinks this, but
Yeah.
everyone out there thinks
She's
this.
like, my mom says it all the time. Like,
Yeah.
so, and then she says things about like, oh, like you're just listening to show tunes over there. Like, it's just all the things she says. It's like, But
Mm-hmm.
like if he's happy, if they're happy, sure.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, he is very much denying it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
tooth and nail.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. I guess he doesn't. She catches him and saying that you never actually said this, like you never denied it, and he kind of just plays it off. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's gay. He's in denial.
Yeah. Yeah. Which honestly, like again, is kind of sad. Like if he like is being forced in the closet by some sort of societal something, like that's the way they're portraying it in the show is very funny. But then again, it's like all the things in the show, it's like it's really funny, and then when you really think about it, you're like, oh, this is actually like maybe problematic, but it's fine. But, obviously the whole connection here is for Robert and Saul, like I'm assuming they don't want him to like go through what they went through, right? Like they both married women, like had whole families, did the whole thing before they realized that they were actually in love with another man. So I'm assuming that's, what we're supposed to be getting out of this.
Right. They have very good intentions as wizened old men that they don't want to see their younger, gay
Yeah.
brother not go through the same thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay, I have a question. Do you feel like this kind of premise has like become more prominent in TV shows or like even like the world? Like like the premise of like people are married and then the man turns out to be gay or like woman turns out to be lesbian.
currently, I don't think so. I haven't seen that in movies and TV shows. Have you?
Did you watch Nobody Wants This?
Yes.
So like Kristen Bell's
We have not finished.
dad. No,
Oh
this is like from
yeah.
the get-go. Like
Yeah,
her
yeah. Okay.
dad, they were married and now he's gay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I
Yeah,
feel like that's a big part of that show. Also a Netflix show. Did they
it's
rip it
definitely
off?
yeah, I've definitely seen this premise, this story being told, and,
Yeah. But then also like
previously.
did you ever a couple years ago, who's the author? She married a woman's soccer player, Glennon Doyle. Yes. And then she you don't know about this? She wrote a like really famous book. So she was married to a man, like had a family, and then one day was like, "Oh my God, I'm a
Oh,
lesbian,"
yeah,
and then
yeah.
married one of the U.S. women's like soccer team players. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like, so I just feel like it's becoming more like public, maybe, or like more like in the
Sure.
zeitgeist. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just was wondering that because, it's clearly the entire premise of this show, which is apparently 8 years old now. So, like, this has been around for a while. But I don't know. I feel like as I thought about it, I'm like, oh, but here's some more examples that are floating around in pop culture.
I mean, I think it's good, especially for, our parents' generation,
Yeah.
where again they didn't have the outlet, they didn't feel comfortable back then, especially. But
Yeah,
seeing
true.
that how it's more comfortable now, seeing it come out, obviously, because media is the reflection of our society,
Mm.
and when that's being portrayed out, when these stories are being told, I think does encourage
Yeah,
people to come
that's
out.
true. It is interesting. It's like, are we going to just keep seeing more and more like boomers? I don't know. Cause like now they're like, finally, like society's okay with it. Just like all these boomers start to come out and I
I
don't know.
mean, I would love it. I mean, unless it,
Well, I mean,
as long
yeah,
as
hopefully,
everyone's on board with it, unless it like leads to divorces and you got
right.
some
We
angry
do
people.
like happy families
We
and
want
all of
happy
that.
families. Yes, we want everyone to be happy.
But
Yeah.
anyway, it's an interesting premise. And it is, I mean, again, it like even comes up a lot in this episode where there's that like tension of like they, like they're also friends, right? And
Hmm.
like there's the thing where Robert or no, Saul maybe said Frankie was like one of his soulmates or was his soulmate. And it is kind of like a hard tension because it's like you were married and you had kids together, like you had a whole family, but then also like that person's not for you. So I appreciate kind of like the interesting dynamics it's brought up.
This was part of Grace's rage
Yes.
stage, right, where he called it out that Saul called Frankie his
Yeah.
soulmate,
Yeah.
and Robert's clearly upset. And at the end of the episode, we find out, when Grace has calmed down a bit, and she's in the fourth stage. What's the fourth stage called?
I don't know.
Like
Did I write that
remorse or
down?
something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe.
Yeah, that she's like, you don't even believe in soulmates. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you care? And Roberts essentially says, I don't believe in soulmates, but Saul does, and
Yeah.
knowing that I'm not his soulmate, which
Yeah.
I felt for him on that one for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you believe in soulmates?
Ooh, that's a big question. I
We're
think
going there.
so, but I feel like I'm one of those people who it's like it doesn't just have to be like one person. Like there could be like different people that you could have met at different times that like could have been connected to your soul. But like,
Sure.
you just like happen to meet like that right person at that right time who like that's your connection. I don't know. Does that make sense?
That makes sense for sure.
I don't know. What
Yeah.
do you think? Do you believe in it?
I used to not believe in it, but
Ooh.
now I just think that too many things have happened, too many coincidences. I do believe in soulmates now.
I mean, you met your wife in high school.
I did meet my wife in high school. So,
So you knew from such a young age.
but again, like, yeah, this like things just happen. It's just crazy just to see, how my wife and
Yeah.
I came together.
Yeah.
And again, but also I don't also consider my wife my only soulmate, right? Like my
Yeah.
children too are also my
Yeah. Yeah.
soulmates as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, it's fun to think about, but I do love that a big question, right? That a lot of people
Yeah.
who get divorced or like not divorced, but who their spouses die that they married and then they maybe remarry, and then the whole question about what's going to happen in
Mm,
heaven and in the afterlife, like
interesting.
who are you gonna choose? Who are you gonna be with? I love that thought exercise,
Ooh, that's like getting dark. I feel like I can't go down that spiral. I'll
man.
I'll start to panic about
Well,
future
you're fine for
regret.
now. You and your husband are happily
I
married. You're
just
both
have the one
healthy.
husband.
You're all good to go. Don't worry about that. But later
Oh
we'll
my
see.
God. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay, so regardless, speaking of people who are married or getting married, the fiance couples, they're they're good. They're moving on. They're gonna
they
get
are
married, hopefully,
committed.
I guess. They're
Yes, they're gonna do it.
they're gonna do it and doesn't matter what
I don't
Robert
know if
and Saul
they're gonna
say.
do it, but
Oh,
they're
I
gonna
don't
get
know.
married.
They're gonna do something and I hope just hope they're happy. I hope it works out for them.
Me too.
I'm interested to know more about their story.
Me
Okay.
too.
So like the whole big event, right, of this show though is they're going to be in a lockdown.
Yes.
So they're all at all the olds and the neighbors are at Robert and Saul's house. So then police officer comes to the door and is like, "Hey y'all, there's been an escape from the local zoo. There's an orangutan on the loose. It's like really it has rage, like it can literally like rip off your balls if you get close to it. Like it's extremely dangerous. Nobody can leave the house. Like it is not safe out there and they're going to be in lockdown. What did you think of this orangutan?
This is where I made the realization that this show is like a 70s, 60s, 70s sitcom,
Huh.
but current day and much more toned down.
Huh. Yeah.
Because to have in a storyline about a crazy orangutan that's loose, you gotta stay inside. You got this, you got Grace who's going to go through these 3 phases of uh, whatever. I'm like, this is straight out of like a 60s, 70s sitcom. But all we're missing though is the like laugh track and the over the
Yeah.
top acting, things like
Yeah.
that. So it seems as if they're trying to blend modern day with that
Yeah.
olden style writing and plot lines. So it's like we have conflict. Let's stick these people together with this crazy premise,
Yeah.
and then on the other side too, it's the giving the birth part, right? Like, oh, how silly is how crazy this woman giving birth, and
Yeah.
it just seems all we were missing was smoking and drinking, from everyone else except for Grace.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, you bring up a really good point. I didn't even like make that connection between kind of like the old fashioned sitcom, but I actually thought they do a really good job. Like it is a classic like situational, like this is a ridiculous situation that they're put into. But I do think like not having a laugh track, like not being over the top, like it actually, I know it's not believable, but it actually felt more believable. I was like, yeah, this could have happened. Like they could have been stuck in a house while an orangutan's on the loose. Like the way they did it just felt more like natural. And it was, I just felt like a well done, like it's clearly a ridiculous situation, but like done in a way that feels real, you know?
yeah, exactly. Because in like a black and white show, the cop would have come in and be like, "Oh my god, you all have to stay right here. There's a orangutan loose."
Yeah.
It would have been like a stage play, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is like the cop comes in, he's like, "Hey, everybody," just let you
Yeah. Yeah.
know. Which I
Yeah.
love the cop, but that
I do
actor, I've
too.
seen
Yeah.
him before in other
Yeah. He's
things.
a lot of stuff. Yeah.
He's really funny, and he was good
Well, and
in
I just
this.
love how, like, when they're like, the orangutans escaped, and they're like, which one was it? And they're like naming all the different orangutans. It's
Exactly.
like, oh,
Yes.
it was Ken Allen. He's such a legend. Like, he's the legendary orangutan. Like, it just made it so much real. Like, and think about like when 70-year-olds are hanging out, like, I just have a hunch at least one of them knows the names of the orangutans that they do. Like,
So,
it feels sort of realistic that, like, I don't know, like for this crowd of like 70-year-olds, like they're just sitting around reading like next door. Like this is like what they do. So like it just felt more realistic for like what they would be going through.
they're watching the local news.
They're watching local
They're reading the
news.
newspaper. They're reading up about all the escaped orangutan
Yes.
monkeys that are going on. So yeah,
Okay,
they know
like
it.
not the same thing, but a couple months ago where we live, there was a bear on the loose. Do
That's
you
right.
remember that? Yeah,
Oh,
and
it was
this
a
was like a
huge
huge
deal.
deal.
It was all over
And
the
it was like
news.
people didn't want to leave their house. Like this
Yeah.
is like a real thing.
Yeah.
Like the bear, and people were tracking the bear. The local news was like 24/7,
Yeah.
like following the bear. Like it's on this street now. It's on this street now. It was a huge deal. So like it's not that far fetched to be like, don't leave your house. There's an animal
It's very true. Very true.
and everybody was like obsessed with it, like knew the name,
Yes.
like it had names. Anyway, so
I think they made like the unofficial like town animal afterwards. So it was a big deal. So yeah, you're
like
right.
I
It's just
totally
realistic.
get like I loved the storyline that they like can't leave because there's orangutans on the loose. And then of course, but like Frankie, she needs to get to the birth of her grandkid. Of
Yes.
course, because it's a sitcom, they're in lockdown, they get the call, she's in labor, her water broke. Like Frankie has to be the one to deliver this baby. So they're like trying to figure out all the ways they can
Has
speak
to.
out. I don't know if you caught this, but I was dying of laughter. So Frankie's like, I got to get out. Like, we're leaving. So they turn to Frankie. She's holding a bunch of bananas and a pair of scissors. And she's like, I gotta go. So she's like, got her bananas and her scissors to protect her. And she's gonna get it, like, take a run. And then they're like, watch out. There's a killer monkey on the loose. Like, it was like so ridiculous, but so funny.
That's really
I
funny.
loved it.
No, I missed that part. I missed that.
Oh my God. It was so good. Like, all the jokes about, like, just like the killer monkey and like it's gonna rip off the balls. Like, it was funny. It was great. It was great. But she tries to leave. The cop brings him back.
Mhm.
And then I guess, don't they like make some sort of deal with the cop so they can finally leave?
Yeah, so Grace makes a deal where where he would give her daughter Mallory,
Yeah.
he would give the cop her phone number
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
essentially pawns her off.
Trading her daughter for Frankie's freedom.
Exactly. And once the cop hears that, so this must be like a local cop or
Yeah.
something
He
that
clearly like knows them. Yeah.
knows them. Yeah, knows for a while. So he gets very excited and then runs off and then is able to convince his superiors to
Yeah.
let.
Well, and has to pretend like, oh, somebody's in labor. So Frankie has to pretend she's in labor. But the cop gets them out and they
Does.
make it as Allison is in, well, because she's doing a home birth now. Like the home
Yes.
birth is happening. She is now in an inflatable pool doing the home birth.
Doing home birth. Wife producer really wanted to get your take on
The home birth?
how the home birth. Yeah.
I have some takes on it. What's the question?
The sounds, the screaming,
Yeah.
the way it was portrayed. Would love to hear your thoughts on that.
I mean, it's for a sitcom, so it has to be tame. But yes, I wrote down, where's all the blood? So she's, again, just like in a tub, which I know people do this. I personally would never have chosen to do a home birth. I wanted to be in a hospital. I will say I was like, oh, I might not need drugs. Like I'm going to like try to do like an all natural. Nope. Nope, I will take the drugs. Thank you very much. The drugs are amazing. They did a great job making me enjoy this labor a lot. So anyway, so I digress. I don't know. She's in a tub, not for me. The baby comes out pretty easily. Really no blood to be seen.
No blood to be seen.
No poop to be seen.
No poop to be seen.
No, like she seems fine.
Yeah. The
Seems
most you
pretty easy
see
for
is
her.
an umbilical cord. That's about it.
Yeah,
But,
so I was like, at least they showed umbilical cord. Like that's sort of realistic, but she didn't really seem to be in like a lot of pain. She didn't really seem to be pushing. I don't know. Maybe she was just a very lucky birth giver.
she did earlier scene before she started giving birth, and she's with Mallory. So again, apparently it seems like
they're friends,
all their kids are friends too.
which is cute. Yeah.
And Mallory says that she'll give, like, when they find out that Frankie is in lockdown, she's like, I'll step up and I'll do this.
Yeah.
And that's when they're like on all fours, like doing exercise, like whatever exercises. And that's when she like asks for, she's ready for the drugs now.
She's like, oh, I'm ready for my epidural now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, sorry, ma'am.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yes.
Also unrealistic, but pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't know. So
Very
like,
sitcom-y
again,
at that point.
very sitcom-y. Like I think about, I don't know why it sticks in my head, but like when Rachel gave birth on Friends, it's like, poof, here's the baby. Like, oh, it's so cute now. Like that's just like that's just like how sitcoms do it. The baby giving birth scenes is always very unrealistic. But I don't know, like it was kind of interesting to see them attempting this home birth. And then also Frankie like ends up in the tub.
Frankie makes it just in time for the crowning
to catch the baby, I guess.
Yes.
But again, you're in the tub, you're going to be covered in placenta, like blood and guts, like
all the stuff.
Obviously, we're not going to see that. It's a sitcom, but
I'm very happy for her because it was very quick. She pushed for like
5 minutes, yeah.
If that. And then the baby was there, so good for her.
Yeah, it all worked out, and it was very important to Frankie that she make it. I guess both of their kids were adopted.
Yes.
That was the other funny line because again, their son is black, they're white, and they were like, "Oh, we never got to see our kids be born," and the cop's like, "Wait, your son's adopted?" And they're all like, "Yes."
So good.
Really good. That's
a good joke.
Anyway, so she's like, "This is so important to me that like I'm there for this birth." So she made it. Yeah, and then. Says, I guess they made a deal. So the baby comes out and Saul goes, well, just so you know, you have to name the baby Officer Torres. I guess that was the deal they made.
That was part of the deal too.
Which is so the way they
Mallory's phone number was not enough. He wanted naming of the baby.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that was it, right?
Think that was really about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of different storylines happening, but again, classic sitcom where like they're all pretty much centrally located in the one house, but everybody kind of has their own drama going on. It's all connected, and now there's a baby. Very
and I think one of the other thing is when we first meet Grace, she's in the house. I don't know if you noticed, but it really bugged the crap out of me. The background noise of like waves and seagulls. They're inside the house, but they pumped in background noise sounds, and it really just bother the crap out of
Like
me. Like,
as if they're
okay,
supposed to live at the beach or
yes,
something.
they're really letting us know that they live at the
Uh,
beach, and I'm
I
going
didn't
to
even
assume
notice
this is
that.
California. Really? Okay,
I just assume it's California because like every show is set in
every show's in
California,
California.
but that's a good catch. I mean, their
Yeah,
houses were super nice.
very
It
nice.
does make, I mean, clearly, I'm assuming they're all retired. They all
Hmm.
clearly have like plenty of money. They live very nice lives. Like, what did they do before? You know, like, seems like they're all living living their best lives.
Because in the opening song, the opening credit, sorry, we see the obviously the men are going off to work, whatever, and then in
Yeah.
one layer we see Grace is in a business suit. Her figurine is in a business suit in front
Yeah.
of a presentation, and Frankie is in front of a
Yeah.
canvas painting. So yeah, it definitely seems as if Grace was also successful, had a
Yeah. I think
successful
they
career
all
in
were.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I will say it is nice. I feel like we don't watch very many shows that feature like senior citizens. So it's kind of like actually interesting and cool to see like that type of representation.
We
And
watched that
then,
one dating show that I loved.
oh yeah, what was it
What was that
called?
one?
Dating for old people. No, that is all,
Something
but it
like
was great.
that.
Later
Later
daters.
daters,
But
that's
yeah, it
right.
was similar to that where it's like kind of nice to see like that life, and it made me just like real jealous. Like I have said this many times, I want to be retired. I can't wait. Like they just like hang out
Yeah.
like chatting, like making cocktails at 3 p.m. Like that's just like what they're doing all day, every day.
Yeah. Robert just starts pulling out stuff to make cocktails
Yeah,
at the middle of the afternoon. I'm like,
it's great.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, they're just like
I
living their
want
best
that life.
life. And I know it seems great. So maybe one day can,
Maybe one day
I hope
that'll
that'll
be
be,
us, Christy. We will just pop into those houses and just
it's
have
be great.
cocktails in the middle of the afternoon.
That's really the dream. But yeah, I think that's it for the episode.
Yeah, I think that's all I had. So let's go over into our acting quality. So the rating system being A being the best acting that's out there to F just being straight up garbage acting. Christy, how would you grade the acting in the show?
I'm gonna go like B plus. Like I think they did a really good job. You know, I've always said with sitcoms, it's hard for me to go like A because it's like, you know, they're being jokey. But I will say again, like this sitcom, I feel like was acted really well to the point where it didn't feel, you know, like over the top sitcom-y. So I'm going B plus. What about you?
Okay, I'm going C plus.
Okay.
I mean, you have these four great actors, and I just feel as if they're just being held back. I don't know, and
Mm,
maybe it is part of like the more realism sitcom of this
yeah.
that they're going for, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I just wanted more. I really
Okay.
wanted to see more.
I mean, Martin Sheen in a marching band costume, tap
That
dancing
was good.
wasn't enough acting for
That
you.
was good. That was really good. Seeing Mr. President, tap dancing was wonderful. But I just wanted more. I
Yeah,
was just
I
really
get that.
yearning for more from them.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's go over to our rock rating then, our representation of color based on the number of POCs in the episode. So this one had, obviously their son, his name was uh, Bud, I think. Bud, yes. He's black. Officer Torres is a POC, but that's
I think that's it.
about it.
Yeah.
So, well, Bud did have uh, he was not a small character, and Officer Torres was not a small. I mean, he was a small character. So I don't know. It's tough to judge this one. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go with like I'll give him like a 5 out of 10.
Five. I thought you were gonna say four.
No, I think I'll get 5. Because again, Bud is the son. He had he
Yeah.
had some role in it. I'm gonna
Sure.
go 5 out of 10.
Okay. Also, old people representation.
Oh, it is representation of color,
Oh, sorry.
not representation of. I can't think of a word, C word for
Geriatric.
exactly.
Oh man.
All right. Finally, did we like it, Christy? Did you like it?
I enjoyed it. I kind of want to go back and now watch more of it. I think my husband would watch it with me too. Like I
Okay.
said, I thought it was just like it was a well done sitcom in my opinion. And I like the premise. What about
Okay.
you?
I did not like it.
Okay. Interesting.
No, it was boring.
Really? Okay.
Again, I wanted more from the actors. I guess I already said it really, I didn't like the blend of this like old timey sitcom plots with like this current, with this realism. Like, pick a lane,
Okay.
and
Interesting.
it just, it didn't work for me. And I was bored.
Oh, interesting.
And
I laughed out loud so many times.
interesting. I I did laugh, as I've said throughout this pod, that there are times where I did laugh,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't enough for me. But I will. I again, I was hoping to see June Diane Raphael. I'm gonna
Okay.
find an episode where she's in, just
Okay.
get see how she's in the show.
Yeah.
But I don't see myself going back and watch this one.
Okay. I mean, it's a lot of seasons. That's my only hesitation is
Oh my
like, oh
gosh,
my God, it's a
so many
lot. So
seasons.
luckily the episodes are short,
Yeah.
like it's not a huge commitment, but it is a lot of seasons. But I don't know. I'll try it out and let you
Okay.
know.
But you know what? Wife producer said. She said, I'm trying to think what she merged with. She said this was like Gilmore Girls meets, oh God, what was the other show? Anyway, some like old person show. But this has like
Hmm.
the laid back style. This is her words, not mine. I'm not gonna
Okay.
compare this to the Gilmore Girls, the amazing Gilmore
I
Girls.
know. Gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Interesting. Well, I'll watch more of it and
okay.
see what I think.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, then thank you for listening, folks. Remember to follow us on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you're listening, really, or watching. And if you like what you hear, please, please, please give us 5 stars. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Random Episode Pod. Finally, and most importantly, come back next time for our next random episode.